Welcome in. It is day 171 and you're speaking to the Meeples Champion. And today we're going to be jumping into a small two-player game. This was a brand new idea that I had never heard of this game, seen this game, even really had an idea of a game like this before. But such a new concept, such a cool and interesting quick play. The game is 7 Ronin. So the idea in 7 Ronin is, again, 2 players, you're each going to choose. One of you is going to be the 7 Ronin, and the other one is going to be the ninja. You're going to set it up as, you each get a player screen, you have a center board, and then you have a little board behind your screens that represents that board. You're going to then choose where to put your pieces. Now, as the player with the 7 Ronin, you are the defender. You're going to place all your players on the board. You have 10 spots around the green, and then a center spot called the green. Now, the idea of the green is that unlike the other spaces, the green is not considered a normal space, so a lot of things that affect other spaces can't affect that. The only way to really affect the green is to go there. And your opponent, with the ninja, can always put one ninja in the green. Every ninja they have in the green represents one additional ninja that they can play when they play their ninja. So in round 1, they're going to be a little bit limited. They're going to be told, okay, you can go to 3 spots and you can only place however many ninja are allowed in those spots. But if you have a ninja in the green, which you won't have on the first round, but the second round you will, if a spot says you can put 2 ninja, well, and you have a ninja in the green, you can place 3 ninja there. And you're allowed to keep adding an extra ninja to the green every round. So you could eventually get to the point where you just drop on a spot that says its limit is 1 on round 6. You could be dropping 6 guys. So you're doing this. Meanwhile, I'm dropping my Ronin. Now, the way that the order of events goes is, we first both place all our people on our boards that we're allowed to place. Then we reveal at the same time, we place them on the actual large board. Then we go through, and starting with me, if I'm the person representing the 7 Ronin, I use my Ronin's abilities. Now the Ronin's abilities are, there's one guy who's just a tank. He can take lots of hits, no real ability, that's just what he does. There's somebody else who says, if you get him on a spot and he has no ninja there, he can take a shot and hit one of the ninja that are in the reserve and kill one of the leftover ninja. There are usually 40 ninja in the reserve that are basically what your opponent is using to get to the board. So you can kill one of his reserve ninja. But if there's somebody there, you can't do that. There's another character who has a sword, and she is going to be able to, if she's with ninja, kill one ninja in her area. There's another guy who, if he can jump spots, so he can literally jump anywhere he wants to go. There's another character who is the only one that can go with another Ronin, so when she's on the board, you can place her by herself, or you can team her with somebody, using her as a shield for somebody who's weakened. There's a character who can heal, but he only can heal other Ronin, and he only can do it if he's by himself. And then there's another player who, when he's in a space, if there are ninjas with him, he can grab up to 2 ninja, and he can send them one spot to the left or the right, either together or individually. So there's a lot of things going on with these guys. You do all their abilities, and once you're done, then you go to your opponent. And your opponent now, first, has to inflict damage. So any spot that there are ninjas still with a Ronin, those will now count as ninja stars, and you will take them off the board, put them onto that Ronin's individual character sheet, and put them on him as a damage. Each one has a max damage amount, so you're going to take a lot of damage in this game. Once all of them are done, you're going to see if you got lucky and you have any ninja on a spot without a Ronin. If you do, you get to activate that spot's ability, and that's the ninja ability. These abilities can cause you to inflict the damage to any Ronin you want, can cause you to choose to take a Ronin that's on the board and say he has to stay here for next round. It can cause you to bring in additional of the ninja from your reserve, or there's an even extra spot beyond the reserve that you could grab from there and add them to your reserve, so you can increase your amount. There's a bunch of abilities. You're going to do this, you're going to finish the round, and then you're going to clean everything off the board that's allowed to be taken off the board. That is only the Ronin. Ninjas stay. And then you're going to go to the next round. You're going to keep going until one of 3 things happens. 1, all of the Ronin die, the ninja have won. 2, all of the ninjas, both on the board and in the reserve, have died, the Ronin have won. Or 3, you get to the end of the last round. I believe there was 7 or 8 rounds. And when you get to the end of the last round, if there's still a Ronin alive, the Ronin win. However, if before that happens, at some point, the ninja own 5 spots on the board, they win. And there are 2 spots on the board that if you take them says it counts as an additional area. So they could win both of those and another spot. And if they get to the end of a turn and they have 5 area counts, they win the game. They've basically conquered your village. It's a really fun game, quick to play. But why don't we jump in, talk about this with our 7 categories, and see where it really lands for us. When it comes to that art, I'm not a big fan usually of boards like this. This is okay, but there's a lot. But at the same time, it's kind of like an old Asian mural of battle, and I liked that. Yes, this is not a game I've ever seen in a store before, or if I had, I guess it didn't grab my eye. But I didn't mind this art on the front, and I didn't mind the art in the box. I thought that it all made sense. It fit the theme. It was fun. That being said, I do have to judge this on, does the art sell me on the game? I think there's 2 sides to art. I always say this. There's the getting it into your house art, and there's the keeping it in your interest art. I think this fails on getting into your house, but I do think it succeeds on staying in your house. So it's up to, can it get there? I think it's such a good game, and the art so fits its theme that I have to ignore my dislike of its box art to be grabbing my eyes pre-owning. And I have to accept how good the art inside is and how much of that theme it feels. It's a thumbs up. Your components. So you basically have wood when it comes to all of your ninjas. It's little black ninja stars, these wooden ninja stars. They're really good. You have your 7 Ronin, which are 7 little rounded cubes with a sticker on them. Perfectly fine. You've got your 7 Ronin's character sheet pieces, which are cardboard pieces. And then you get your boards, and you've got your 2 different sheets that hide you, which is really well designed. It's all great quality. I think for a small game like this, it's really well done. It's got to be a thumbs up. Your price. So now again, this game, I don't remember having seen it before. I tried to look it up. It's not very big. It's not out there a lot. You're not going to find this in a Barnes & Noble or a Target. And it's probably more likely to find in like 1 to 2 board game stores out of 5 at most. I think this is a game that is just not widely a big game. It was probably a smaller release. And it's not expensive. It goes for about 30-ish. It's okay. I think that for the game you're getting a great price. It's just the availability that's the question. I'm going to give it a thumbs up because it is available in some ways and the price is totally acceptable. But I'm going to have to keep your eyes on it because in the next few years you could see that availability really dwindle and that could take away from this. Your difficulty. This game, to me, I could teach this to a 10-year-old and I could teach it to a beginner and I feel like they could enjoy it and understand it really quickly. But I think there's enough game here that at least an experienced player could enjoy this game. I consider myself expert level, and I really enjoyed the game. Now, not to the level where I think I'm going to buy it, but definitely the level where I'm going to ask my friend to bring it again, and that's a big deal to me. So I got to give it a thumbs up. Replayability. I think this game has replayability. We took about half an hour, but we were learning the game. It took us a while. So once we got through the learning, it was 30 minutes to play post that. I think that our second game would have went far faster. And I think that this is definitely one that I could see being played 2 or 3 times in a row. And I could see this being one that definitely, if you're somebody who, hey, I really liked to play Risk back in the day, or I really like to play a big game that's a fighting game, but I just don't have the time for that. This kind of feels like a little mini version of that. So I think this definitely has replayability in it. It's a thumbs up. Your keys to victory. So for this one, I mean, There's 4. You're is the Ronin either trying to wipe out the ninja or trying to survive, and making sure that also you're not giving up too much of the fields. As the ninja, you're trying to conquer at least half the fields or wipe out the Ronin. So you've got those keys, but then it's also how you're spending your guys. I never attacked my opponent while he was in the green. I let him build it up, which he thought was great because he was attacking in force and he was getting some kills on me. But what he didn't realize was my guys retreated every round and then returned. So eventually, I got him to commit 7 people total to a spot that was really hurting me, but he was also limiting his people and he couldn't move them. So I eventually just knew, okay, well, I can go here and I can use my healer to heal over here. I can go here. I can use the guy to attack the people in his reserve. I've got these people who I can go and I like basically sacrificed a couple people to wipe out a bunch of his. And I ended up winning the game because I was able to try to force him into putting too many people in one spot. It's a lot of strategy here. It's a lot of mental thinking. It's a lot of adjusting. I think there's plenty of that. Huge thumbs up on the keys to victory. Is it unique? The theme is not, but the play style is extremely unique. I think it's amazing that the meeples, essentially, for the ninja, are both a spot to play, to get an ability, and to strike somebody, and they count as a hit point. And I don't mean that they hit you and you get a hit of damage. I mean they literally are the hit point. You have to take them from the board, place them on them, and their ninja star stuck into their chest. I think that's great. I think the fact that the Ronin have an ability that is based on themselves, whereas the ninja have an ability based on location, and that all of it's based on sharing or not sharing spaces, is very unique. For me, it's a huge thumbs up. Overall, what do I think of this game? It's not one I think you have to buy, and it's not one I think you have to play, but it's one I highly recommend if you have an opportunity, give it a chance, because I saw it, wasn't massively impressed. I wasn't turned off, but I wasn't massively impressed, but I gave it a shot, and I loved it. So you never know. Don't judge a book by its cover or a game by its box cover. Give them a shot, get in those games, see what you have. Well, it has been day 171, and we've been speaking about the game 7 Ronin. And you've been speaking to the Meeples Champion. Like, share, subscribe, and check down below in the description where I'll be adding an Amazon link in case you want to get this game for your collection. Until next time, I'll talk to you tomorrow.